per lei, che il suo mondo sì con lei fino in fondo, salirà su nel cielo sempre con lei. Sempre con lei, sempre con lei, sempre con lei.
Hello, Emilio.
Hello, Jeppy.
Welcome to the Dermoscopy Excellence
Digital Training.
Let's start from the clinical.
Are you ready for the scalp? Some data highlighting a significantly worse survival for acral melanoma.
Here, again, you make the diagnosis because of the arborized vessels sharply in focus. So, this is our destiny, my friends. If someone is connecting right now,
Yes.
then they are saying, okay, let's stop seeing this stupid course.
But then, if you look at the tables and you see the reason why.
Melanoma on the face is a lazy guy.
Morphologically, dermatoscopically.
Bravo, my president. Eh? Hello, my friends. Can you hear me well?
We hear you perfectly.
With my beautiful microphone.
You make us jealous.
Hello. You know, guys, we together with Emilio, we spent a beautiful weekend in a fascinating resort in Puglia for a Dermoscopy event.
And
Well,
you make us jealous now?
yes, not sure if the dermoscopy course was very nice, but definitely the place was exceptional.
We miss you so much in New Orleans, Jeffy. Never do
Yes,
that.
yes. Next year I will come for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, 90%. Yeah, let's say
He
so.
said it live. It's recorded, okay?
Yeah.
March 26th.
So,
front of so
hello
many-
to everybody here, of course, as usually from all over the world already.
So we should say hello, planet Earth. Because, again, Sweden, Austria, UK, London, Tunisia, Romania, UK, Poland, and of course, many other countries.
Yeah.
So, hi, dear friends. This is again a special episode. Argentina,
Yes.
Argentina. I have to mention
Yes.
Argentina. Come on. Nigeria. Very special episode once again, because we will continue with, and still we don't know if we will be able to finish.
Yeah.
Constantinos, correct?
I doubt.
I
I doubt
don't-
we will.
I don't think so. No problem.
No problem. We have plenty of time to dedicate to cases from the audience.
Yes, from the audience. Exactly.
Yes. And let's, Sebi, ciao, Sebi. Ciao, Sebi. Can you show the question of the week? To learn dermoscopy, it is better to see more cases, to learn from formal lessons, or a combination of both.
So the answer that is, I would say, replacing sometimes here is the combination. I would say.
Combination, yeah. Yeah, claro.
90%.
Yeah.
Jeppy, do you like my t-shirt?
Very nice. Okay, so who is in charge for the cases? Costantino, you?
Yes,
I will start. Konstantinos, I have, you remember, we have some that remained from the previous time, and I have them somehow prepared. So do we have anything else to say? No, we start directly.
I think so.
No paper of the week for this week. So let's
Yeah.
just remind the people that the best journal to publish papers is DPC. Just a short reminder.
Objectively speaking, of course.
Sebastiano, what are you going to do? Cases of the week. Cases of the week.
Cases.
Cases of the week.
Today we have many, starting from this one, from Turkey, Nisa.
She's my department, but
Really?
she's no instructor.
Fantastic.
She was my resident.
Fantastic. Handan. Should be correct. Fantastic. So Handan sends us this wonderful case. You see it on the leg. Multiple lesions. We can see in the photograph at least 4. 2 are quite large. The other 2 are smaller somehow. And we see also the close-up. We see also the clinical, in which we see dotted vessels in several
Dermoscopy,
parts of
yeah.
the lesion. Yeah.
Pustules.
But also
We see
pustules. Also pustules.
Well, come on. This is let me tell you, I'm the old guy, so I can say something very politically incorrect. This diagnosis 90% clinical.
No, why is it incorrect?
No, but definitely, come on. This is immediately we have to do a microscopic examination.
Yeah, definitely.
And I always repeat the same stuff. Please invest a little bit of money, less than 1,000 euro, to buy an optical microscope to do your own microscopic examinations. It's very easy. You just scrape a little bit, you put a little bit of potassium, idrossido di potassio, 30%. You wait a little bit, and then you will see beautiful beautiful dermatophytes.
Yeah. But it's true, however, although I agree that the diagnosis is already clinically quite quite evident. It's true that the pustules are much better seen with the dermatoscope, which of course is another strong point for the diagnosis of fungal infection. In addition to this, also broken hairs, scales. Also look at the periphery of the scales. This is the characteristic sign, the so-called.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's intact from the outer part and destroyed from the inner part as the fungus grows peripherally. This is the characteristic scaling in
So the free margin,
rays.
so the free margin is external, not
External.
internal.
external.
Free margin is external, which is very funny. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And more images, pustules disappeared and erythema decreased, of course, after 1 month of oral terbinafine treatment.
Wonderful.
By the way, which is usually your drug of choice to treat tinea? Terbinafine or itraconazole?
Terbinafine or griseofulvin. That's the only only two choices I have in mind.
Why not itra?
Well, but as a second choice,
Because of more interactions with other drugs.
Yeah, with the drugs.
Exactly.
Cytochrome P.
Yeah.
And I think in up-to-date, terbinafine is the drug of choice, and then griseofulvin, and then itra.
Yeah. Of course, this is not true for Candida.
No, exactly. That's the opposite. Yeah.
Exactly.
For Candida, we have to use the imidazole derivatives.
Fantastic. So, especially when there is a solitary lesion, these follicular micropustules help me differentiate tinea corporis from nummular eczema and psoriasis. Very good points. Just an additional comment is that dotted vessels, as usually, don't help because dotted vessels are present in
all of them.
many disorders. Of course, in psoriasis, there is a much more regular distribution, but in several entities, including tinea, we see dotted vessels in dermoscopy. Best regards, Nisa. Hokam means Nisa will see you.
Yeah, I miss you, Handan.
Okam? What does it mean, Okam?
Hocam means teacher.
Okay, nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. And there the message was that it's very nice to have fun and learn with you every Sunday. These were cases of tinea in patients working in animal husbandry. Thank you so much. Wonderful cases.
Wonderful.
And now we go for a moment to a few cases sent by who?
Pascal. Penelope.
So you understand how interesting and challenging they are going to be. There are 5 cases. We start directly with case number 1. Okay. So 65, no medical history, vitiligoid calf plaque appeared 2 months ago without triggering factor. And this is the beautiful dermatoscopic image with the halo, the ecchymotic halo. Yeah.
It's an ecchymotic halo, and there are scales in the center, which, by the way, the free margin is external again.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe you are. No, maybe not. Maybe not.
Not really.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can be sure that there is an ecchymosis. That's clear. So it's an hemosiderotic something.
Yes.
And how about the center? Does it look like a little bit orange, the central part?
What about the center? That's the question. I think so. I think it's a little bit orange. Yeah.
A little bit orange.
Like something.
Yeah. And orange might correspond either to cellular infiltrations. We know it pretty well, like in granulomas or lymphocytic infiltrations. Or another probability is hemosiderin.
Yes, but why not a Maiocchi?
Exactly. Why not a Maiocchi? So pigmented purpuric dermatosis.
Yes.
And exactly this orange area might correspond occasionally to hemosiderin deposits. Fantastic.
Just to summarize, Maiocchi is just one of the names used to describe one disease, which is purpuric dermatitis, pigmented purpuric dermatitis, but we use many many names, right?
Yeah. Mayoki is one of these guys that we are very jealous of. By the way, if we have time later, I will show you something very nice. Case number 2.
Before going forward, Emilios, Eve asks, Eve Lovenstein, why not annular hemosiderotic nevus, the previous one? Because I don't see actually any clues for a melanocytic lesion. Do you?
No, really no. No remnants of a nevus.
Yeah, because we cannot see the nevus. Of course, when there is this hemotic phenomenon, it could be that it impedes the visualization of what's there. So maybe follow-up would help just to understand if there is something else that is not clearly visible now. But in this image, I agree, we don't see features of nevus. Fantastic. 47, female, numerous nevi, history of melanoma in her father, and in a random examination, there is this hypopigmented plaque. Could be a dermatofibroma clinically, don't you think so?
Or a hypopigmented nevus, congenital nevus. Let's see.
But let's see dermoscopy. Let's see dermoscopy.
Yeah.
So we have our clinical thoughts. Now let's see dermoscopy, full of dotted vessels.
Okay.
Something regressing.
Lichenoid like appearance.
I think it's an LPLK.
But also many dotted vessels, don't you think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there are many dotted vessels. So deserves a biopsy for a regressive melanoma or something else.
One of these lesions, you have to make a biopsy, but with main diagnosis of lichen planus-like keratosis.
Fantastic. So we all agree that this would be something a little bit worrisome in the sense that you don't just let it go.
No.
Biopsy.
Biopsy.
No way.
Fantastic. So melanoma. Melanoma in situ, of course. On a previous nevus, this is what I don't like so much in this.
Maybe
this
there is a little bit of remnant of pigment in the center.
In the center,
but you know, it's really one of these things which are hopefully the pathologist of Penelope is reliable, and you know, because I mean, of course, in these occasions, these are the lesions where the gray zone is always a problem, right? So the morphology also histopathologically could be difficult to assess. But anyway, it's a lesion that should be removed entirely.
This is a wonderful example of this difficult category of lesions, non-pigmented, and therefore not much criteria to see. There is, as we all say, the feeling of regression overall, but the many dotted vessels are a sign that we should take into account. Fantastic. Case number 3.
We have to remember this from time to time. We have to remember this finding we, let's say, described quite a number of years ago. When you see dotted vessels and you are dealing with a tumor, not with an inflammatory process, most probably this will be a melanocytic proliferation.
Most probably it will require excision because it will be either a spitzoid lesion or
yes.
And this is also true when we see dotted vessels in nodular lesions, which is also even more. Fantastic. 31, female again. Nevus check. This one on the back catches your attention. This is the clinical. And
beautiful.
This is balloon cell nevus. Yes.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. You can leave it there.
Yes.
Beautiful example.
What are these balloon cells?
Large melanocytes.
Very large.
So it's
very large melanocytes. Yeah.
With pale cytoplasm.
With pale cytoplasm. Fantastic. Yellow globules, okay. Balloon cell nevus. Case number 4. 62, no medical history, asymptomatic solitary firm pinkish scalp nodule for 1 year. Clinically, would you like to say something?
Adnexal.
Lymphoma?
Also, but I mean, usually lymphoma is more shiny in some way, no?
Yeah. So, but you don't feel that it's a BCC, obviously, because you didn't mention it. Of course, you cannot exclude, but yeah. Fantastic. Now,
polarized light and non-polarized light. This is okay. There is a little bit of orange, especially seen in the polarized light dermoscopy.
a
So
few white shining.
it could be a lymphoma. It could be a
But
lymphoma.
with the pressure, I think in lymphoma we don't see these white structures with the pressure. Huh?
Exactly.
There are too much fibrosis here.
And the vessels are very large to be a lymphoma, but still, yeah.
Also, a few white shiny structures you can see in the polarized mode, obviously.
This is a lesion that should be excised.
Yes. So BCC is still not among the
first choice. Not the first choice.
Not the first choice. Fantastic. So the answer was cylindroma. Cylindroma. Yes.
Solitary cylindroma, which does not mean that this is a syndrome, because we learned we saw a couple of cases that cylindromas, when they are multiple, they are seen in a syndrome which is called
Bruch-Spiegler.
I can never say the name.
Yeah.
Spiegler.
Well, you know, okay. I have to confess that for these syndromes, I have to use some tricks, because my memory is just nothing, you know. So Bruch, for some of you who are, let's say, in my age, can remember beautiful.
Bruch Shields.
Bruch Shields, of course, but also Bruch is one of the stars of Beautiful, which was a series ongoing
do you mean the Bold and the Beautiful? This one, the Bold and the Beautiful, this series.
Where there is Ridge.
Ridge, Thorn, and Bruch.
Forrester family. And Bruch was the bitchy lady who was with everybody, you know? She went with everybody, all the family.
So what is the relationship with cylindroma?
No, Bruch. So when I see a cylindroma, the name of the beautiful, the lady in the series, Bruch. Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic. So cylindroma, we also showed the case last week of cylindroma. We should just keep it in mind as part of the differential diagnosis, especially on the scalp. This is the favorite location of cylindroma. Fantastic. Case number 5 from Penelope. 85, history of left breast cancer in 2006, radiotherapy, consulting for asymptomatic papular lesions of the ipsilateral breast of recent onset, normal mammography. Obviously, the thought of METS crosses immediately.
Yes, but also angiosarcoma due to the fact that she did radiotherapy. So this could be angiosarcoma induced by radiotherapy.
Angiosarcoma.
Yeah.
It is an angiosarcoma.
You are very close. Yeah. You are very close in the sense that it's vascular. And maybe, I don't know if you know this sign.
Yes.
Hypopion.
Exactly.
Hypopion sign.
Here I show it, with a so-called half-half bulla. So you see that the blood here is in the lower half of the bulla, and the upper half is free of blood. This half and half bulla or hypopion sign, in general, it's considered as a sign of lymphatic lymphangioma. Yeah. And by the way, in this case, it was atypical vascular lesions, lymphatic type. So
lymphangiosarcoma?
So they didn't diagnose it as an angiosarcoma.
Not as an angiosarcoma.
This is a very dangerous diagnosis, guys, because I have several patients who had this diagnosis, but later developed angiosarcoma. If we see this diagnosis along on the radiotherapy side, we should do recurrent biopsies to exclude angiosarcoma.
Correct. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful cases from Penelope as always. Fantastic. And finally, the last one that I would like to show you before I pass the word to Konstantinos is this one. So from Melanie, I love Dermoscopy, happy hour. Thank you for sharing your experience, Melanie from Nuremberg. So 82 years, male, congenital nevus, followed up for 4 years. Vessels in the surrounding neighborhood at 9 o'clock, unfortunately, were not detected in follow-up of May 2022. Patient reported itching in December 2022. Dermoscopic changes evident. So this is the nevus. We can see clearly that this is a congenital nevus, absolutely. The point is what's happening focally. There is basically this area of hyperpigmentation. Other than this, it's a typical reticular pattern of a congenital nevus also with a target network with the small globules inside the holes of the network. This is the pigmented area. This is April 2021. This is the evolution. Any comments? Do you worry about this area?
Well,
Not
I mean,
easy to say, yeah?
Not so much, to be honest.
it's not growing because we started in 2018, right?
18,
Yeah.
19, 21.
It looks not growing too much.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is that they decided to do a biopsy here, which is reasonable. By the way, there are also some vessels, if you see. I don't know how well it's projected, but there are also some vessels in this area, dotted vessels in this area. So I understand that this is a little bit annoying part. Of course, not growing, that's a good sign. And the result was compound nevus with signs of dysplasia.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it was still a benign component of the nevus.
Yeah.
So the question here is in the realm of congenital nevi, when we have diagnosis of dysplasia, because I mean, in an individual of 82, when if it was not a congenital nevus and we got a report of a single lesion with signs of dysplasia, we would be very, very careful. I mean, very reluctant to accept such a report.
This
But
case,
in the setting of a congenital nevus,
it's not a real problem.
Yeah.
I agree.
Fantastic. Okay.
Wonderful.
Very good. Very good.
So,
so we move to the brand new cases.
There are also some from the prior week.
Okay.
And some new as well. So we have a wide variety. We'll go as fast as possible so that we can see as many as possible. So, a case from Robert Solomon, 38-year-old male with fair skin, no personal history or family history of melanoma, no dysplastic lesions, baseline June 15, 2021, and follow-up March 15, 2022.
Okay.
Serial dermoscopy, supraclavicular region. So
1 year follow-up. 1 year follow-up.
1 year follow-up. This is the lesion, clinical, that tiny lesion here. And this is dermoscopy. And this is
I hate these lesions, you know, I hate them.
I couldn't agree more.
basically, maybe also the image for somehow is lost the quality because I guess it wouldn't be so blurred as it projects now.
Mm-hmm. It's very blurry right now.
It's blurry.
Yeah, it's quite blurry.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
how do you see Konstantinos? Is it okay for you?
I see it quite okay. It's a screenshot. They're not the original images, but I see it quite okay. Let's have a vote for people to see what they think.
Okay.
So this is the first time point, and this is the second one.
Sebi, you launched the poll. Okay. Let's see. BCC, nevus, a little bit of melanoma, a little bit of solar lentigo. Yeah.
but the histopathology was melanoma 0.3 millimeters Breslow.
Wow.
Wow, I agree. I mean, I don't see anything that suspicious here. But
Yeah.
well,
This is,
Yeah, maybe what we miss because the image is blurred could be important. So maybe there are some dotted vessels that we cannot see them now. I don't know, because what I see in the screen now is just a little bit of light brown structureless pigmentation. Not
exactly.
Same.
That's it.
Same,
That's it.
Emilios.
That's it. That's it. That's the only thing
Just
that.
pinkish grayish structures.
Yes.
There's nothing for me. And surrounding vascular structures due to the
Yes.
sun damage.
Maybe it was there was pressure applied and we can see the dotted vessels. However, a very impressive diagnosis and good cuts.
Yes, sure, absolutely, that's sure.
So
good catch.
some cases from our dear friend Pile Kono.
Pille.
Pile. So female patient, 57-year-old, 7 by 7 millimeters, duration of 1 year, rapid enlargement, and
Well,
Okay,
based on this
clinically,
clinical, this is either a seborrheic keratosis
Exactly.
or melanoma.
or a melanoma. Same case or melanoma. I agree.
the two extremes, either very good or very bad,
Then
and
that's
unfortunately
a
very
melanoma.
bad.
I think let's see what people think if they agree with a very bad scenario, but I think that this is quite obvious.
Let's guess the Breslow thickness here.
Eh,
Okay, I like it. Sebi, would you like to launch a poll? Sebi.
here we are.
So melanoma or sub-K, I think is the question here, although it's quite evident.
I would say that here it's not. This is not a thin lesion. There is a bluish coloration which is visible a little bit at the periphery of the heavy pigmented stratum corneum.
Sure.
Probably this could be something more than 1 millimeter.
Yeah, of course, it's also quite high. So there is obviously also an epidermal reaction on the surface. So
Nisa, what would you
1
guess?
point. I think 1.1 or 1.2 millimeter.
Emilios?
yeah, that would be my guess. Not too thick, of course. Not inside, of course not.
Ele was kind enough to also include the histopathological
Hi.
images.
Nice case. You see how much pigment is in the stratum corneum.
It's 1 millimeter.
One.
Okay. Perfect guess.
Very good.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Case number 2. 42-year-old female. This is a lesion with a maximum diameter of 10 by 10, present since childhood, and it has changed in color. And this is the dermoscopy.
Okay, so based on history, we should say that this is a benign lesion.
There is a benign lesion that changes and develops something
Well, but since childhood.
located on the scalp since childhood.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see, melanoma nevus vascular lesion.
Okay.
Yeah, this could be an unusual trichoblastoma or something, but
Pilomatrichoma, like the one, the pigmented pilomatrichoma that we showed at some point.
Melanoma arising on a nevus.
Yes, of course.
I think that Emilios was very close.
Pilomatrichoma.
Congenital intradermal nevus in combination with a pilar cyst.
wow.
Where's the pilar cyst?
Sure is.
Yeah.
But on dermoscopy, I can't see it, to be honest. Well, maybe this area, but a very interesting case.
Very interesting.
So no melanoma, huh? Just
No.
congenital nevus.
Yeah, congenital nevus.
Oh.
Thank you so much,
It's
Pile.
very interesting.
Thank you.
Great
Wow,
cases.
this is also a
Thank
beautiful
you.
image.
Beautiful case.
Beautiful.
Case from Lynn Calvert. We have this dermoscopical image. And what do you say it is? Nisa?
I would say for this a bit challenging. There's pink structureless reticular lines and some remnants of pigmentation. So I would make a biopsy, maybe melanoma, regressing something, but I'm not so sure. A challenging case for me.
Challenging case, absolutely. Let's see what people think.
Melanoma first choice, and then dermatofibroma. It's
dermatofibroma is a real
definitely an option. It's a lesion that should be removed. As you see here, we cannot give a name, and when we cannot give a name to a pink lesion, we have to remove it. Full stop.
Unless, of course, it was a dermatofibroma clinically, where then okay.
But I think it's on the scalp. So how often do you see?
Like on the scalp,
from the scalp. So the biopsy is pending, but the patient has a known history of sarcoidosis.
Sarcoidosis, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Doesn't look like a sarcoidosis.
Doesn't look like a sarcoidosis, but it's a very interesting case.
Of course, sarcoidosis, if you remember when we were reading for our exams, has 20 different phases. Of course, we know the most frequent ones, but theoretically it can mimic anything. So there is also an atrophic variant.
Variant, yeah, you're right.
Case from Elena Severin, 55-year-old. First of all, I think that we mentioned it, but thank you so much for your cases. They're all so interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So this case from Elena Severin, a 55-year-old male, came for a keratotic lesion on the lower leg. Keeping in mind the recommendation of Professor Argentiano, do a full body skin examination, I discovered an erythematous hyperpigmented lesion on the right hypochondrium. Well defined.
Wow.
And
the patient was not coming for this reason, I suppose.
No. Professor Argentiano, you give good advice. So, shall we vote? What is?
Well, yeah.
Come on. Again, we should maybe vote for the Breslow.
For the Breslow.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same.
Okay. I guess that the vote will be nearly unanimous.
Okay. Breslov, this is a flat lesion, by the way. This is important to judge the thickness. I would say good chances that this is not a thick lesion, but I'm not sure if it's more or less than 1 millimeter. Melanoma,
100%. 100%. I love it.
100%, yeah.
I don't remember the Breslow thickness. There is neovascularization. There is some blue-white veil. I would go for 0.7.
There is also white. These white lines, they theoretically correspond to stromal changes. So, yeah, of course, it's not very thick. For sure, it's not very thick. But could be close to 1. Yeah.
0.8.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
I go for 0.7. Let's see. These are the other images.
Meltump, 0.3.
0.3.
Good.
Much better than
we guessed.
Yeah, but you see the lesion was flat, so this is really a strong indication for a thin lesion, independently from the dermoscopic morphology.
Perfect. Case from Doina Tabasila.
Of course, now the question is, in this case, of course, FISH needs to be done, and here I see that it's they wait for the results. But in any case,
it's a melanoma, clear cut.
Yes, this is a melanoma. That's what I would like to say. This is not the type of tumors that fit the diagnosis of Meltump. And this is important because if we accept the diagnosis of Meltump, then practically there is nothing we need to do. Okay, maybe a small excision. Okay, and in this case, since it's 0.3, also for the melanoma, the only thing you need to do is the wide excision. So, okay, in this scenario.
However, it's very interesting that the Ki-67 index is only 5%, right?
Of course, if you have a possibility to ask for a second opinion, fine, even better. But if not, in my view, we could.
Elena in the chat, this is a case from Elena Livia, correct? Elena in the chat
Elena Severin.
The final result is melanoma in situ.
Melanoma in situ.
I2.
Wow.
I cannot believe that.
It's not in situ.
Wow.
It's not in situ.
I would ask for a second opinion.
So
Yeah.
it's good that the diagnosis moved from meltum to melanoma, but
We strongly
Exceeded
This
1
case
centimeter margins.
This case must be treated as an early melanoma,
Yeah.
wide excision, follow-up of the patient. So
totally agree.
he will be happy.
I think we have a unanimous vote here. Doina Tabatila from Bucharest. Female patient, 40 years old, with phototype 4, fibrous lesions since 2 years, macules, annular, pigment, peripheral rim, reddish atrophic center, asymptomatic. You can see here that there are several of them. And this is the dermoscopy. And let's see what people think.
There are many lesions like that, huh, Konstantinos? It's not a solitary one.
No, there are several.
Several.
How old is the patient?
40 years, 40-year-old.
40.
Why did you ask about the age?
Well, just because I missed the clinical information. I was
Other is the option.
Other.
Jeppy, what would you say?
No idea.
Other.
But I think that we can describe the lesion. So
Yes.
there
Melanophages.
Yes.
melanophages. So there's a lichenoid reaction of some kind.
Yeah.
That's why we see the regression, and an atrophic center. So I guess that
Atrophic lichen planus.
Yeah.
annular atrophic lichen planus. So the diagnosis of the biopsy was LP-LK, but I think with multiple lesions, the
Yeah.
Annular atrophic lichen planus.
Annular
This is a
atrophic
very
lichen
good
planus.
option. Yeah.
is the diagnosis. Is the diagnosis.
Yes, we have a consensus.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get so often 100% agreement. I love this. Case from Elena Severin, female, again, female patient, 33 years old, annual Nevis skin check, when they noticed this lesion on the back.
Pincus.
Professor Argentiano, you're so good. So good. Let's see what people will vote. BCC.
I just say a lesion with brown structureless, some white lines, and some serpentine vessels. Huh? Konstantinos, it's a blurred image again from here.
Okay.
What do you see?
Exactly as you described. And of course, Professor Zetti, our Zetti. It was a pincus.
Bravo,
Pincus
Jeffy.
is very nice because it's a lesion looking a little bit like a BCC dermoscopically, but as a dermal nevus clinically. So it's very easy.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that description. I'll keep that in mind.
Of course, the only alternative here would be a very bad alternative,
Yes, nodular melanoma.
which is nevoid melanoma. Yeah.
And another case from Elena, a 26-year-old male, reddish nodule on the posterior thorax with polypoid aspects. He remembered the local trauma of a lesion nevus with the same localization. And this is the clinical. Dermoscopy, unfortunately, is non-polarized. However, it is a really nice case. This is why I kept it. We can see a neovascularization of the lesion. A lot of vessels. Let's see what people think.
Melanoma 26, basal cell
Vascular.
15, vascular 35. Okay.
And it was non-ulcerated 4.2 millimeter nevoid melanoma.
Okay. You asked for that and you got it. Yeah?
Yes, because you foresee the future. Case from Maza Kozic, 77-year-old girl, came for lesions on the neck. Mother of child told me that she doesn't have this from the birth, and this starts like few lesions on the chest, and after it grows. Can you tell me if I should follow up this lesion or remove? What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is beautiful.
Linear epidermal nevus.
Epidermal
No
nevus.
problems. No problems.
No problem.
I think that
Probably when she will be a teenager, she
For
likes
aesthetic,
to remove it, and then you do it for cosmetic reasons.
Exactly.
but I think that again we have a unanimous vote. Do nothing.
Yeah.
Case from Gary Levy.
Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hey Gary, 70-year-old lady eats her ass since 5 months. Started after she moved apartments and did some renovations. At first on body and later on buttocks too. Biopsy showed spongy dermatitis, atopic eczema, or contact dermatitis. She applied topical steroids with no help, and 9 sessions of narrowband UVB, no help. And husband started itching 6 weeks ago with a more
Yeah, there is already the answer in the chat
Yeah.
without images, just by the history.
Yeah, I think that the history alone has given us the diagnosis. However, it's very interesting how scabies can mimic so many things, especially in its late stages. But dermoscopy solves everything so beautifully. And a beautiful dead sign here. Case from John De Vega. I'm hoping that this can be discussed. White 34-year-old male patient presented with a solitary skin lesion in the right forearm, which has been present for as long as he can remember. He noticed changes in the last 6 months. We have excised the lesion with a narrow margin to rule out malignancy. This is a very interesting case because also she needs management advice. This is the clinical, and this is the dermoscopy. Let's see what people think.
Okay.
85% melanoma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Reasonable.
I think that we all agree that this is a very suspicious lesion. And she also sent us the histopath, that something that can happen. Unfortunately, a piece of the tissue was lost in the laboratory during processing. And with the remaining tissue, they did all the cuts they could do. They found a compound melanocytic lesion demonstrating an increase in melanocytes within the junction, focal indigenous growth and bridging, no pagetoid spread, cytological atypia with increase in nuclear size and occasional nucleoli. Overall, in keeping with a dysplastic melanocytic nevus, demonstrating low-grade atypia with an occasional focus suggestive of high-grade cytological atypia. And the margins were 2.8 and 3.1.
Well, this is enough in my view.
Yeah.
So,
Fortunately enough, there is a picture. There is a dermoscopy picture, and this is definitely showing a very superficial proliferation. So either it's an atypical nevus or a melanoma in situ. So with those margins, in my view, we can keep the things like they are, or if we like to be more, let's say, interventional, we do a little bit of re-excision, and that's it. No?
Yeah, I agree.
I absolutely
completely.
Agree. I think that dermoscopically, this looks like a melanoma in situ to me, and I would just do like another 2mm excision just to be on the safe side, because this issue with the lab happened. And I mean, it can happen to any lab. It's, you know.
Yes, this is a very good point. So since there was a problem, it's better to be more on the safe side. Yeah.
Exactly. But this can happen anytime. Thankfully, she took a dermoscopic picture, and based on that, we know that this is a suspicious lesion. Treat it as melanoma in situ, and you're more than fine.
Of course, an interesting point of discussion here is that let's suppose that there was no problem in the processing in the lab. Let's suppose that you just have the whole lesion excised, and this is your report. Here I would say that I believe that this is if you ask me what do you believe it is, I believe that this is a melanoma.
Me too.
But and based on the histology report, I still believe that this is a melanoma. But if you ask me if I consider this necessary to do the wide excision, given that we have already excision at 3 millimeter margins, then I would be more, I could negotiate. So I don't strongly believe in the absolute necessity of wider excisions in melanoma in situ, especially when you already have 2-3 millimeters.
That's a very good point. And I think that I agree. This is something that will need a very large and long prospective study to be answered, and it's almost impossible to be done. My only problem in this lesion is that, for me, here is the nevus. Here could be the heavily dysplastic nevus. Here that we have the neovascularization, I'm not so confident that it's not microinvasive, and this could be the part that's missing. So because of this part alone, I would do the extra excision.
Yeah, in this case, you have the problem that a part of the lesion is missing, so therefore this is a reason to be more careful. But if this was not the case, then...
Yes, totally agree. But unfortunately, this is something that we will need to work, I don't know, maybe 30 reference centers for 10 years to answer.
Well, nobody will do it, my friend, because in any case, it's not such a big deal to do a small 0.5 centimeters excision, so it's okay.
Well, I mean, this is an issue when we're discussing on the face, but thankfully your paper answered that.
The face is a different story. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there is a nice question by Catherine. Can you explain what do you see on the dermoscopy of scabies? Maybe we can dedicate an episode to infectious diseases.
Great idea.
Yeah, be able to show
the
many variations of scabies and so various animals populating our skin.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
This is a case from Livia Lozons. I present a case of a 13-year-old girl with a tumor on the nail bed, very firm on palpation, appeared 2 months ago without pain. She plays football.
Sabungol exercise.
Nisa, you're too good. I mean, there's nothing to vote on.
Because she's playing football and it's painful and it's under the...
I love it. Sabungol exostosis.
Yeah.
Bravo,
Fantastic. Meraviglia. Konstantinos, what should we do? How many cases you have left? 1 or 2 or several?
20, maybe.
Okay. Oh. New episode.
Keep them for the next episode. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just do this one since I started it, and we're done.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dear Emilios and Zepi, thank you so much for your utterly fantastic teaching. I agree. You're absolute legends. Also agree. This gentleman, age 78, fast jet fighter pilot, spent months of his youth in the Middle East, outdoor activities. Lesion right cheek grew rapidly over 4 to 6 months. Thought it was an SCC with large structureless white areas, large white circles, some with the vessels, some on perimeter, center, you'll see it. The thing is that histology showed a SEBK and some sun damage.
Yeah. It happens.
This is clinical, and this is the dermoscopy.
Wow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Come on, this could be, if the image was a little bit better, it could be used as an example to show how squamous cell carcinoma should look like.
So I think that we can all reply to George that trust your dermoscopy, this is a squamous cell carcinoma.
Well, but I mean, if the histo says seborrheic keratosis, it's I don't know.
I absolutely agree that this part here is SEBK.
This is seborrheic keratosis.
This is not SEBK.
Yeah. Well, some SEBKs are so crazy, but
I know, but
this looks a very initial squamous cell carcinoma.
Yes.
Anyhow, I suppose that the entire excision of the lesion anyhow solved the problem. So
exactly. Excellent.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Really wonderful cases. I mean, really didactic and were interesting and with useful messages and everything. So, Jeppy, do you have to tell us something?
Yes, I have to tell you something. And you also have to tell us something.
Usually you reply no to this question. So today you are in a good mood. Go.
Yes, I like to show you just for a moment this beautiful system that the inventor of dermoscopy was setting up. AUDIE, the inventor of dermoscopy, was also working a lot on this AUDIE Derm Manager. So basically a system to catalog and to make a database of your images. You can use whatever instruments you like, and then you upload your images on their servers, and then all the images will be available for your next consultation. So give a look. And then, Emilio, also to say something.
I also have to say a couple of things. I will do it. So I will start with my beloved Penelope. The gift of Penelope for today is, as always, wonderful. 6 photographs clinically. Do you want to take a more careful look, or you want to see dermoscopy right away?
It's better to look at the dermoscopy, because then
fantastic.
So the entire spectrum.
I trust you. I believe in you. You can do it.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So come on. Number 1. Come on.
Grover.
Number 2.
Fabre Rocochet.
Fabre Rocochet. So comido, large comidons.
Solar elastosis, large
solar
comidons.
elastosis, and so on. Okay, 3 is, come on.
BCC.
Okay.
A fantastic, wonderful BCC. Let's go to 6. What is 6? You can do it. You can do it.
Granuloma.
Sarcoidosis.
Granuloma. Okay. Sarcoidosis. Yes. 5.
Lymphangioma.
Purpuric dermatitis.
Purpura. Okay. 4. What about 4? 4 is the most challenging in my view.
Dermatofibroma.
It's difficult.
Aneurysmatic, you mean dermatofibroma?
Yeah.
Yes,
Not
I
sure.
understand. That's the only problem here, because this is
A bad one.
everything else was more or less correct, except of number 2, which was an ecrine hydrocystoma.
It's so strange.
Probably here could be the.
Can you go back to the clinical for a moment for the number 2?
Yeah, in the middle.
Okay.
In the middle.
Which one?
Probably this one.
Oh.
I guess.
He has also Fabre Rocochet.
Also Fabre Rocochet. Yeah, I also think so.
And Emilius, if you can go for one moment on the next slide.
Yes.
Like for the Grover's disease, the beautiful stellate.
Yeah, very beautiful image.
Yes.
Amazing.
Ulceration, which can also be found in solitary acantholytic dyskeratosis.
Yeah.
And Darrier.
Like it's the three things that you can find this.
Yeah. So it's somehow related to the acantholysis of that is common in all these three entities that you mentioned. Very nice. In the small lesion too. Now, of course, number 4 is an extremely challenging. Of course, aneurysmatic dermatofibroma is a very reasonable.
Yes, but going back to the clinical that I didn't see too much. I mean, look at the nodule. It's very
it looks nodule. Really like melanoma.
Oh, you don't miss this one.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Fantastic.
Great cases.
Great cases as always from our dear Penelope. And now I would like to show you again this wonderful, I like it very much. This series of tools, starting from the simplest and going to the more sophisticated. How do we say it, Konstantinos? Armamentarium. Another
thing that I also use is an extra arrow in the quiral. So, Robin Hood, another arrow.
Yes. A couple of weeks ago, we said a few more words about the new VIOS, this small device that you can adjust in every smartphone, and also about this Intelli Studio for the clinical photographs. Today, I would like to say just one word more about the D200 Evo, the next generation handheld dermatoscope that you can also use to acquire close-up clinical images, and of course, dermatoscopic images with daylight and with cross-polarized light at a very, very high quality, and can also be used for hair disorders and automated analysis without the need to clip the hairs, and a calculation of the ratio of vellus hairs versus terminal hairs, which is fundamental for the assessment, especially of alopecia areata. So wonderful tools in the armamentarium that Camfield provides. And slowly, I think that we move to the Kahoot, but since we have 2 minutes, I would like to show you one more case, just one case, just one case.
Okay.
Because it could be, you will understand in a moment. So this is the clinical, this is dermoscopy. And now, please try to say automatically the first diagnosis that comes in your mind. Jeppe, would you like to start? Don't
BCC.
Don't think about it. BCC. No. Nisa, say something?
This is not BCC, huh?
No.
Sepke?
No. Konstantinos?
Melanoma.
No. Jeppe?
Poroma.
No. Nisa?
Solar lentigo?
No. Konstantinos?
Pigmented squame. I have no idea.
No. Jeppe?
Dermal nevus.
No. Nisa?
Bovens?
No. Costa?
Gary Levis wrote larva, and I will go with larva.
No. No. Jeppe?
What is missing?
Unbelievable.
Seborrheic keratosis, we said.
We said.
I don't remember, but it's not.
So, what is this? Now we are curious.
What is this?
No, you can find it. You know the tumor.
Okay. So, squamous cell carcinoma is not. No.
Lisa?
Dermatofibroma?
No.
Doesn't look like.
Konstantinos?
Pigmented clear cell? Because I
Yes!
Yeah.
No, come on. Pigmented clear cell acanthoma.
There are the dots
No.
underneath. Yes. It's like it took me forever to see. I was focusing on the upper part with the globules.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So now,
Really? You
look,
got
guys, we have a plan. I publish it, and then and then you write a letter saying that the Lala's acanthoma.
Done and done. We will co-sign it.
Because I've never seen.
Acanthoma. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and
Variant.
I also have very nice histologic images from Mattheos. That's a
Really?
clear-cut clear cell acanthoma. I've never seen
Amazing.
or heard about a case of pigmented clear cell acanthoma. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Never.
It's so interesting. Great case.
Emilios, I have seen one. But
Really, pigmented clear cell?
One.
Ah, fantastic.
This is definitely Lala's acanthoma.
Okay, since we're on it, can I take advantage of your expertise for a second?
Sure, go.
Yeah.
And the expertise of the audience, of course. Okay, this is a case that has troubled me very, very much. So the first clinicals are a little bit blurred. We're talking about this lesion, okay? Patient with terminal stage hepatic cirrhosis.
Terminal stage?
Hepatic cirrhosis, liver disease. And patient in order to go into the transplantation list, needs to also have a skin exam. Comes to me, I do a total body skin examination, and I notice this lesion, and this is the dermoscopy.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to remove it, and then it will come like, I don't know. It doesn't look like a pigmented BCC. It's, yeah. It could be a nevus, it could be pigmented SCC.
A blue nevus with fibrosis.
So
Dermatofibroma, some sort of dermatofibroma, maybe.
So the first pathological report said that this is like a deep penetrating, sort of augmented blue nevus,
Take it. Take it.
but with signs of atypia. And second opinion said melanoma with fibrosis 0.5 millimeters. And the thing is that one thing takes the patient off the list, one thing keeps patient in the list.
Please keep him in the list. This is
come on.
This cannot be a melanoma because it cannot be a nodular melanoma. Of course, melanoma can do whatever he likes, but a small tiny papule, if it's a melanoma, you will not see it as a small tiny papule. You will see it as a nodule much more easily. That this is a deep penetrating nevus. Yeah.
So ask for a third.
Sure.
Opinion.
Sure.
Ask for a third opinion.
Sure. You need it because
expert
very serious stuff.
No, I'm really troubled with this case. I don't know what to do. Ask for a third opinion, right?
Yeah, and of course we know that these blue nevus-like lesions are part of the pigmented melanocytoma family that are sometimes really challenging to classify. So it's
So much.
Not at all, my friend.
Bene. Kahoot.
No Kahoot for today.
No way.
Go.
But it's always interesting that the cases that are challenging dermoscopically, they're challenging histopathologically, always.
Yes.
Yeah. Often, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Aglianico. You know what is Aglianico, Costas?
No, I don't believe it. You will see why I don't believe it.
Why?
You will see in very few minutes.
There is a question. Aglianico Costantino is a very famous red wine from my...
Don't say.
He doesn't believe it.
But I told you that I have a question and you are giving the answer.
I could not believe that you asked the specific question on Aglianico. Yeah. Bene.
It's really strange.
But what about the issue with Kahoot, that it's going slow with the registration?
No, it's always the same problem. At the beginning, it seems that people are not connected, but when we start, everybody's connected and it works.
Oh, and we have an Aglianico in the participating.
But that's what I say. That's why I commented it, because I saw the Aglianico nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that you have a question in Kahoot about Aglianico.
I do.
You also do?
Yes. That's why.
Okay, I think that I need to drink a bottle of Aglianico tonight.
We did yesterday.
Okay.
So let's start, guys. Let's start, and everybody will be connected for sure. Episode 12, by the way, today.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is case number 1. Yeah, a nice case. As you can understand, it's on the soul. This is clinical. This is dermoscopy.
Okay.
And here are the options. Diagnosis. Do you think that this is a nevus, a melanoma, an hemorrhage, or a poroma?
You know that I prepared a brand new series of poromas. And this tumor is fascinating.
Impossibiloma as always, eh?
Incredibile.
Yeah.
How many poromas you have, Jeppy?
More than 20, 30.
Yeah, many.
Wow.
Yeah.
101 correct answers, of course. It was a nevus. And which is the pattern of this nevus?
Wavy.
Fantastic. Very good.
Lines, wavy.
Gianpaolo.
Gianpaolo is always very strongly trying to get the win.
Case number 2.
I remember this case, Emilio.
I know you remember this case, so please remain silent. Dermoscopy.
Okay.
Options.
Okay.
Do you think that this is a nevus, a melanoma, a dermatofibroma, or a poroma?
Okay. Let's see. I'm very curious.
Yes, me too. Not so much anymore as I was in the past.
Not so scared anymore.
Not so scared anymore.
I know this lesion as well.
But still,
Well,
you see, if the lesion was still on my leg, because this was my leg that you saw, if this lesion was still on my leg and I saw that, okay, 60 people think that it's okay, but 20 think that it's a melanoma, it's not so nice, you know, you have it on your skin. But now I don't have it anymore on my skin.
Yeah, but Constantino, you know, Nisa, you know the story.
No, I don't know.
We were together for a let's say session, working session, and he was showing this case together with other cases we were showing, and we were sharing on the screen to judge if they are melanomas or NIVA and so on. And everybody said, okay, of course this is a melanoma.
Debbie, you don't remember we were in Sardinia together.
Yeah.
We were 10 dermoscopy experts, and we gave 5 different opinions. And I think that after that he went and removed it.
Believe me, Konstantinos, 5 different opinions is better as compared to having 5 experts agreeing that this is a melanoma. So,
Yeah.
but since this is a special case, Gianpaolo and KK still lead the scoreboard. I have a second question concerning this lesion with double points.
Okay.
Double points.
Double points.
Double points. What kind of nevus is this? So, junctional, dermal, blue, or spitz?
Lalat nevus.
This is Lala's nevus.
This is Lalat nevus.
In reality,
That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
But what kind of nevus this is? Which was, let the seconds finish. It was somehow impressive in my view because this was a blue nevus.
Yeah, yeah.
And
of course, dermal nevus is not far away from
yes, come on.
reality, but
No, dermal nevus is far away. Dermal nevus is a nevus.
but dermal nevus, yeah, dermal
Nests.
still a blue nevus is a dermal nevus, so
Yes,
something deep.
But the only didactic point here is that some blue nevi are not so blue, in fact, and this is not the only example. We have several examples to show of blue nevi that are dermatoscopically not blue, but they are structureless, as also this one is. So you see that there are no globules, therefore there are no nests in the dermis, and this is always the case with blue nevi. They are structureless, and this was finally a blue nevus. Thank God.
Emilio, and I thought that it's a blue nevus because of the perifollicular blue pigmentation. If it's a dermal nevus, it should be a perifollicular hypopigmentation.
Also. Fantastic. And this brings us to the question without points. Famous red wine variety from Campania.
Atlántico.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. Unbelievable. So, of course, the correct answer is
but now you have to tell us. Aglianico, perfect. But where Nebbiolo comes from?
Okay, Nebbiolo, Piemonte,
Torino, Sangiovese, Toscany,
Brunello, Pinot Noir, originally from Burgundy.
Yeah, France. Very good.
Fantastic. No points here, which brings us to the question number 3 or 4.
Four.
Well, we have 6 questions today, so that's why. This is the clinical, this is dermoscopy. And my question for you now, and I think that the answer is possible, is that this is a BCC, which is the subtype. Do you think that this is a superficial nodular or high risk, including all the high risk groups together?
May globules as well.
White structure. Yeah, but now we're telling the clues. It's okay. Of course, the correct answer was high risk. basal cell carcinoma. In this case, this was an infiltrative basal cell carcinoma. And as Konstantinos said, make globules, calcifications practically, but also a quite intense white color, and the vessels which are, they exist, but they are not large. They are not predominant vascular structures. So these are the clues, the important clues of high-risk groups. And slowly, I think that we are getting to a point that we are more and more able to recognize them clinically. And this is very important in terms of management. Fantastic. Which brings MK to the first place and ST in the second. And now we go to question number 4, which is a very nice case, obviously inflammatory entity. That's the close-up.
It's shiny.
And sometimes dermoscopy is so wonderful and so solving the problem, because I think that clinically this was not the main.
No, not at all.
Not the main.
This is the correct one, which is underlined by dermoscopy. Clinically, you cannot say it.
Yeah. But dermatoscopically, this is an exemplar case of pityriasis rosea.
Look at this.
Yeah, with
put the scale on.
Peripheral scales and the vessels that are there, but that they are not homogeneously distributed.
And look at the scales; they are opposite as in tinea.
Opposite as in tinea.
Yes. It's like a wave inwards.
Yeah. Fantastic. Question without points. We go to the philosophy question, which today is not. I didn't find it. It was again sent by a participant. So the question is, who said this? It was sent by Gary Levy. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. You see here the 3 protagonists of the Second World War: Winston Churchill, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and also Jeppe. He was not a protagonist then, but he's a protagonist now. And it was, of course,
I would say that Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler are not really too much interested in
what we give.
What we give.
But look at the results. Jeppe, you're second to Winston Churchill.
Yes,
very good.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much for this. And this brings us to the last case, which is this case of melanoma. By the way, you see it's not a very easy melanoma, but
it's a very nice one. Yeah,
it's a very nice one. We see here the difference of peripheral globules, but not a rim of peripheral globules. This is not a rim. This is not a symmetric distribution of globules at the periphery. Only in some parts of the periphery we see them, and they are also tired globules, so that we have more than one layers of globules.
Various layers, yeah.
Various layers, and also dotted vessels here in the upper part, and also white shiny lines in the center. So obviously, my question now is Breslow thickness. Breslow thickness. Breslow thickness.
0.8. Jeppe?
I vote for 0.6.
Nisa?
Go for 0.7. Nisa to be in between.
0.7.
Less than
0.5.
more than 0.5.
So
0.5.
Which is very nice, because I mean we are congratulations, Konstantinos, but it looks like, of course, it doesn't matter 0.6 or 7. What matters is that we are quite good now to understand with dermoscopy more or less how deep this lesion is. And the clue maybe here would be that in addition to the globules that we saw, there were also these white shiny lines, and the white shiny lines correspond to stromal reactions. So it's extremely rare to find them in melanoma in situ. while in early invasive melanoma they are present. Fantastic. Podium.
Podium, podium, podium.
Simba.
Simba.
Fantastic. Little
Little
Mermaid.
Mermaid.
Congratulations. And MK.
MK.
Bravo, MK.
MK. We have
Very
MK
good,
previously.
very good, very good, very good.
Really?
Okay.
MK was a previous winner.
I suppose.
Uh-huh. Wonderful,
I don't
wonderful.
remember. So
Wonderful.
Sebi is trying to find who MK is. In the meanwhile, once again, thank you all very, very much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And for the next episode, we will think about really to concentrate a little bit more on infectious, inflammatory, maybe. Yeah.
It's Marta Kopa.
Marta Kopacz.
Marta, oh, I know Marta. I know Marta. She's from Poland. Fantastic. Marta, congratulations. I don't know.
Poland, Romania, Italy is very successful.
Here is Marta.
Hello,
Hi.
Marta.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, hi,
hello.
Marta.
Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, congratulations.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
But tell me, did you find the correct answer about my nevus?
I remembered it from the dermoscopy course, to be honest.
You see, deja vu, deja vu.
Yes, so I must say that, well, I'm not sure if I guessed that in other case.
Very good.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Thank you, Marta. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Congratulations.
Allora, ragazzi, see you next Sunday, same hour, same wine, same. By the way, I mean, you know that now it's dark, but since we moved our watches 1 hour before, let's say we started our happy hour with the sun.
Yeah, I hope that it did not affect anybody because I saw a few comments about the time change. So I don't know if in some countries time did not change and therefore there was a confusion.
Actually, in the Western Hemisphere, maybe because they changed time earlier.
Yeah, so it could be that there is a confusion, but anyhow, the episodes are always on the YouTube channel. So let's finish as we started. Good night, Earth.
Love it. Good night, Earth.
Bye, 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 bye.
Oh, good morning, Earth.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
you.